Bruno Fernandes says Manchester United's players must adapt quickly to new boss Ruben Amorim's methods to turn their season around. United's first game under Amorim ended in a 1-1 draw at Ipswich, with the new boss admitting his players were overthinking as they tried to fit into the demands of his new system. Amorim has switched United's formation from 4-2-3-1 to 3-4-3, a change many of his players struggled to get to grips at Ipswich in terms of their positioning and when and how to press. But Fernandes said United's players should be used to playing in different systems, which many do for their national teams, and said they all need to be open to the new ideas of Amorim and the coaching team he brought with him from Sporting Lisbon. "You always have to adapt to different ideas, different positions," said Fernandes. "Even sometimes playing in the same system, you have to adapt to different ideas of playing on the ball and off the ball because the manager can ask different things. So it's not difficult for me to adapt in any position. I'm really aware of what we do in training, and I try to absorb everything from every position. Obviously, it's not possible to get everything, but I try to have an idea of the game because, as the captain, sometimes the manager can't give the message from the bench to the pitch because of the noise or whatever. So you have to be able to try and solve the situation together with your teammates, knowing or having the knowledge of every position, the movements they do, what kind of pressure the manager wants us to do. That's a little bit of my role. Our focus now is on what the future can bring and how we can get as soon as possible and as quickly as possible the new ideas of the new manager Fernandes, who joined United from Sporting in a £68 million deal in 2020, revealed he had had a head start over his teammates because he was a regular watcher of his and Amorim's former team. "I think it could probably be worse for the younger players," said Fernandes. "I know very well what Sporting players were doing. I know exactly what they were doing in their positions, not because I was reading what the manager was doing there, but because I was watching their games. We're international players, so when you go to your national team, you probably play in a different system. For example, when I go to the Portugal national team, sometimes we also play with a back three, and sometimes I play as a number 10. Sometimes I play a little bit deeper. Sometimes I play a little bit wider. So already, in the national team, I have that experience of what the manager wants, in a formation with three at the back. But then you rotate, and you end up playing different ways. You press them one way, you defend in another way, and you attack in another way. You always have to move, and in the national team we do that a lot. So I don't think anyone's age should be a problem, older or younger." Manchester United defenders Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez have officially returned to full training, marking an important step forward for the team as they adapt to life under new manager Ruben Amorim. The pair, both crucial to United's defensive lineup, completed their first regular training session together after recovering from their respective injuries. The sight of Maguire and Martinez back in action at Carrington has brought renewed optimism to a squad eager to find consistency during a challenging season. Their return is a welcome relief for Amorim, who has been tasked with restructuring United's defence while navigating a busy schedule in domestic and European competitions. Nicknamed the Butcher, Lisandro Martinez has been a vital part of Manchester United's defence since his arrival from Ajax. His aggression, precision in tackles, and ability to build play from the back have made him an indispensable figure for the Red Devils. Martinez's absence due to injury was deeply felt as United struggled defensively in key matches. His return to full training signals a critical reinforcement for the backline, particularly as Amorim looks to implement his high-energy, tactically disciplined system. Martinez, known for his fierce competitiveness, was seen working tirelessly during training drills, showing no signs of hesitancy. His seamless reintegration into the squad is expected to provide United with much-needed balance and composure in defence. For Harry Maguire, returning to training under a new manager presents an opportunity to prove his worth once more. The England international, who has faced scrutiny and criticism over the past seasons, now has a chance to rebuild his reputation and cement a place in Amorim's plans. Maguire's presence on the pitch during the training session was commanding, as he participated fully in tactical drills and positional play. Known for his aerial strength and leadership qualities, Maguire's return adds depth and experience to United's defensive unit, something Amorim will undoubtedly look to harness in the weeks ahead. Under the watchful eye of Ruben Amorim, the training session was characterised by intensity, tactical focus, and team cohesion. Amorim has been working diligently to reshape Manchester United into a team capable of competing at the highest level. The manager's preference for a 3 centre-back system places even greater importance on defenders who can adapt quickly to his tactical demands. During the session, both Martinez and Maguire participated in drills aimed at improving defensive organisation, transitions and ball distribution. The pair looked sharp and engaged, signalling their readiness to contribute to the team's upcoming fixtures. The return of Maguire and Martinez could not come at a more critical time for Manchester United. With key fixtures looming in the Europa League and the Premier League, their presence will be instrumental in stabilising the defence and building momentum. Amorim, who is keen on creating a cohesive and disciplined unit, will now have greater flexibility in his squad selection. The availability of 2 seasoned defenders offers him the chance to experiment with his preferred tactical setups while ensuring that the team maintains its defensive solidity. Fans have expressed excitement and relief at the news of the duo's return. Many believe that Martinez's tenacity and Maguire's leadership could form the backbone of a formidable defence under Amorim's guidance. The anticipation is high as supporters await their return to competitive action. As Manchester United continues to adapt to Ruben Amorim's methods, the return of Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez marks the beginning of a promising new phase. Their contributions, both on and off the pitch, will be pivotal as the Red Devils aim to climb the league table and make a strong impression in Europe. The journey under Amorim is still in its early stages, but with key players returning to fitness and the squad embracing the manager's vision, the future looks bright for Manchester United.
Manchester United defender Harry Maguire has backed up Ruben Amorim's claim that the Red Devils were overthinking in their disappointing 1-1 draw to Ipswich Town on Sunday. United had hoped for the perfect start under their new boss at Portman Road for his first game, and they threatened to deliver it when Marcus Rashford netted the opener after just 80 seconds. However, United struggled to get into their groove throughout the game, and Omari Hutchinson levelled the scores just before the interval. United were unable to find a breakthrough on a frustrating day. The Portuguese coach said after the game, "My players were thinking too much in the game. We had just 2 days together, we need more." Maguire, who did not feature in the game as he continues to recover from a foot injury, agreed with his manager and said it may take some time for the players to adapt to his style of play after 2 years playing under Erik ten Hag. "When you come from one style to another style, like the manager said in his interview after, I think people on the pitch are thinking too much where they want to be," he said. "At the end of the day, it's a football match. Go and be better than your opponent and go and win the football match. Within that, play with his principles. I think we overthought the game against Ipswich. I think that's natural because the boys want to play the way the manager wants to play. I think we've got to let it adapt with fluent rather than forcing it." Despite United failing to execute Amorim's plan against the Tractor Boys, defender Noussair Mazraoui said the squad were all on the same page as he praised his interpersonal skills. He said, "My first impressions are really good. His social skills are really good and on point. Everyone understands what he says directly." United move up to 12th after their draw, and Amorim has challenged his players to control games after a tough match. "They Ipswich left us 1-against-1 many times, and we have to use those moments," he said. "It was a tough match, and we lost some balls without pressure. When you start like we did, you have to control the ball. We cannot do it at the moment, but the players really, really tried. We have to address the new ideas now and try and be better for the next game." New Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has been urged not to give up on Marcus Rashford. Rashford has struggled for form since netting 30 goals across all competitions in the 2022-23 campaign, with the 27-year-old managing just 8 the following season. However, former United player Wes Brown believes Rashford can get back to his best under Amorim. He also believes maximising Rashford's potential should be a priority for the Portuguese tactician. It would be a big mistake for Manchester United to give up on Marcus Rashford. He will be working hard behind the scenes on getting back to his best, but it will take the whole team a bit of getting used to, Brown told Casino 24. "I think we will see Rashford getting back towards the level we know he can reach, and scoring will become a second nature again. That will be a priority of Ruben Amorim." Rashford was tasked with leading the line for United in Amorim's first game in charge ahead of Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, and he responded by scoring the opener after just 2 minutes. However, Omari Hutchinson produced a magnificent long-range striker to equalise for Ipswich Town, and United had to settle for a point. Brown, though, is hopeful Rashford will take confidence from his goal against Ipswich and believes it could trigger the start of a scoring run. Marcus Rashford can be happy with his performance because he got back on the score sheet, the former England international added. That's what he has been missing, but it was the perfect start. He may have slowed down a bit, but that was the whole team. The players weren't quite sure how to react to it. But for Rashford, he can take a boost from his goal and go into the next game with confidence that he can start a scoring run. Reflecting on United's draw with Ipswich, Amorim said, "Not a good result, but it is a tough league with high intensity. We started very well but should have had more of the ball. But we are learning.